Good morning, Scituate. It's Tuesday, October 12th. We're a day late for update because of the holiday yesterday. With me is Superintendent Bill Burkhead. I have a couple updates from the selectmen, then I will do my normal update. Peter Levitt, former moderator for about 19 years. There's a memorial service at the First Trinitarian Church Friday at 10 a.m. for those of you who wish to attend. The Fall for Scituate in North Scituate will be on 10/24 from noon to 4 p.m. That's in the parking lot up in North Scituate. Special town meeting is the 26th at 7 p.m. in the high school gym. People should plan on attending that. A Halloween dog costume party fundraiser on 10/30 from 2 to 5 at the dog park to raise money for the dog park. And finally, Halloween in the Harbor is on Halloween Eve from 4 to 5:30 in Brook Street to Allen Place, and all are welcome at that. For my updates, we'll start with our water main construction. On Old Oaken Bucket, the contractor will be back this week on Wednesday and Thursday, making repairs to the pavement and to the trench that is there. Right now, given the scheduling and the rain from last week, it does not look like the entire road will be paved prior to the winter, so he will be making repairs to the trench to get that ready for the winter season. The contractor is on Brook Street today. They have finished the installation on Studley Royal Road last week and will be testing the main this week. And a new water main on Foam Road will begin installation today. I know that one on Foam Road, that's currently a 2-inch main. So that's going to make a big difference for the people on Foam Road in that area, cleaning the water and improving the water pressure. Total water demand for the past week was 1.130 million gallons per day, down again over 100,000 gallons from the previous week. We still have high manganese levels in the reservoir, but they are dropping. They still can cause discoloration. If you are getting brown water, please let us know. The reservoir is at plus 1/4 inch yesterday and plus 3.5 inches at Tack Factory Pond. Rainfall over the last 5 days was 1.74 inches. We are still doing the piloting down at the water treatment plant. You'll see that continuing. And then again, we'll be doing that in the winter months on the cold water. Our COVID numbers for the week was 16 as of yesterday. That's down from 19 of the previous week. Our positivity rating was 1.62, which is actually up slightly from the previous week of 1.16. Plymouth County continues to trend down at 3.18, down from 3.25. And the state is also down at 1.8, down from 1.96 the previous week. So we seem to be in the 15 to 20, low 20 range. We anticipate we're going to stay there for the next several weeks. In and of itself, not a bad thing, but we hope those numbers don't trend up. We will still keep an eye on those. The federal government has put out guidance for those people who have Pfizer to get booster shots. You can go to mass.gov and find out if you are eligible for a Pfizer booster. The FDA will meet this week to consider the application of Johnson & Johnson and Moderna for booster shots. That will then go to the CDC for next week. Those shots could be available either at the end of October or the beginning of November if approved by the FDA and the CDC. So stay tuned and we will let you know when and if those booster shots are approved and who is eligible to receive those. First Parish Road is pretty much finished. We are just waiting right now for the contractor to come in and do the paving. Unfortunately, the rain last week pushes everybody back, so we will push that. That will be done before the cold weather. The Stephen rink over at the high school is substantially complete. We're on punch list items. If you get a chance, go over and take a look at it. It came out fantastic. The painting and the graphics really look good on that. And we do anticipate that there will be a ribbon cutting scheduled shortly. Well, 17A green sand filter, we're in the testing phases right now. That is on schedule to be reopened this fall. And again, that's 225,000 to 250,000 gallons of water that will be returned to the system every day from that source. Witters Walk Clubhouse is moving along. It's starting to look really good inside. The tiling is done in the bathrooms. The rough wiring, the rough plumbing is all done. The drywall is up. They're starting to paint and put in some of the finishing touches. It is scheduled to be finished this fall. And we really are looking forward to getting that done and reopening for the spring so golfers can enjoy the clubhouse as well as the golf course. Same at Hummerock Fire Station, that is progressing. We're probably going to be a little bit late on that, probably late November, early December, but we are still scheduled to have that done in time to get the trucks out of the cold weather on Fourth Cliff and get them back into the garage. Cedar Point, we're still doing the drainage. If you go out there, you'll see we've installed new curbing on the island at the entrance to Cedar Point. That's going to look really nice when it's done. Once the drainage is done, the contractor will do the finished paving. We'll rehab the island and button that up and be finished. Hopefully before the winter time, we'll be completely out of Cedar Point, and that will be completely finished. And finally, last but not least, as I announced last week, the Coast Guard station in Scituate will be remaining open for the foreseeable future. However, if you go down the harbor now, you will see the station is closed. It is closed for its usual fall closure, and they will be back in the spring. So we're glad to hear that, and we look forward to seeing them come back next year for boating season. That's what I have at this point, and I'll turn it over to Superintendent Burkhead.
Thank you, Mr. Boudreau. Good morning, everybody. For a health and wellness update as far as COVID cases in the school system, we had 4 cases this past week, down from 7 the previous week. Next up is just a reminder that I will be holding a series of community forums called Seaside Chats on a variety of topics this year, open to our entire community. The first 2 will be held on October 14th, this Thursday. There'll be one at 1 p.m. and one at 6 p.m. and they'll be held at the Senior Center in Scituate. As you may know, we're in a phase 1, the eligibility period of the Mass School Building Authority's new school project for the Hatherley Elementary School. This first 2 meetings on the 14th will focus on that and answering any questions folks may have. Town meeting is on the 26th, and it's important that our community hears from me on the details and I'm able to answer any questions you may have on that topic. We have a transportation update for the schools. As you may have heard, there's been a shortage of bus drivers across the state and country. We're not immune to this in Scituate. Fortunately, while we have all our routes covered, we do not have substitute bus drivers. So if one of our bus drivers is out, this will be an inconvenience for families, and we appreciate your patience with that. On a positive note, we have hired 2 bus drivers who are in the process of meeting the licensure requirements. Should they pass and be ready to drive, we'll be having them out in the next few weeks, which will add us some stability there. A little update on last week's school committee meeting. The superintendent's goals were approved. They are up on our website. Also up on the website are any curriculum updates that we go over at each meeting, our safe and strong COVID safety plan, and all things Scituate Public Schools. That address is situate.k12.ma.us. Just want to highlight one of the programs that we're running this year in our efforts to help all students accelerate their learning. We've initiated the Scituate Engagement Academy, or C. This program is focused on helping each student develop the best version of themselves in their academics, social lives, and physical well-being. We strive to encourage student involvement, leadership, literacy, mathematics acceleration, as well as community service. So this will be available to all students coming soon, so stay tuned for that announcement. And finally, just a sailor shout out. I think over the last 18 months to 20 months, our community has been battling through COVID and have become extremely resilient. And I observed another reflection of resiliency and commitment from some of our Scituate students last week. These are our students that live in Boston and are in our MEPCO program. I took the bus home with our elementary students, and on top of a rigorous educational experience each day, these students, as well as our middle and high school students that live in Boston, travel up to an hour and 30 minutes each day. So it was important for me to better understand a day in the life of those students. I got to meet those elementary students, and we had a lot of fun and some memorable conversations. Also got to meet their parents and families. So I want to thank you all for your hospitality, as well as Ms. Crawford, who organized it, bus driver Mr. Pierre, and bus monitor Ms. G. Thank you all. Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you, Superintendent Burkhead. That's all we have for today. So I hope everybody has a nice week, and we will see you next week. Thanks for coming.